Hey everyone, welcome back. So I have one of my clients here that just competed the other weekend and did quite well. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself first, kind of, how you did, what show you did, and also, where you're at. A little just details for everybody who don't know who you are.
Yeah, my name's Trill. I just competed in Memphis at the NPC Memphis Bodybuilding Championships. I won both my classes and I won overall, which was awesome. I'm from Tennessee, that's why I was in Memphis for my show. But I've been bodybuilding for a few years now. Started in wellness, but made the switch over to bikini, and I've loved it. And I've loved working with Georgia. It's been great.
We have a lot to talk through today. So I'd love to chat a little bit about before as well, because I know when you came over to me, that's kind of when we swapped over. So I know, so you competed obviously in OCB, so like a natural federation prior and in wellness. When switching over and coming, because right basically when you applied, we kind of switched to bikini. We didn't stay on wellness. So was that something that you were excited about, scared about? Like, did it feel good to have like that guidance of, hey, this division is better for you? Or did you feel like uncertain about it?
I definitely was scared at first. There
Yeah.
was some uncertainty, not because of you or you making that like thinking like I didn't trust you. It was just like I made wellness bodybuilding such like my bodybuilding identity. And so I was scared that I was gonna like I was losing my basically my bodybuilding identity switching over. I was like, I'd never even considered doing bikini. I had even had said once that I was like, bikini women are really dainty.
Yeah.
And I just did not see myself as a dainty person or like as like somebody like I started at a pretty high body fat percentage. I've lost a lot of weight through all of this. So like I just never saw myself have that frame, like be able to have that frame. And so I was worried about it. I was like, oh, just I don't I mean, it comes from you really just don't know what you look like. I have no clue what I look like. And so it kind of just came down to where like this is her job. She's competed so many times before. The whole reason I even started like following you and like asking you to be my coach is because I saw you do bikini and I saw you do all this and you did amazing and you made me feel so good about like my shoulders and stuff. Like when you first started posting, like I was just so like worried about having big shoulders. And then over here, like even now making to the switch, I get to hit shoulders
Yeah.
twice a week, which is awesome. Like I love hitting the shoulders. And so it was definitely like scary at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I kind of talked through it, the more I realized I was like, no, this is definitely the right decision for me. And I'm so glad I made the switch.
Yeah. And I think we talked about it too, because this is the thing. And I'm sure you felt this way, but it's a lot of the times we're choosing divisions based on like a preconceived, maybe other people's points of views of them telling us maybe at a higher body fat, like you should be wellness, you should be wellness. Maybe people that don't understand the division sometimes. And so when we cut down at times and see, okay, where is actual muscle tissue, we're keeping in mind, obviously, genetics, how you like to lift, and where we think you would fit in a realistic timeline. And of course, you're a natural competitor. So it's also keeping in mind, I think we talked about this at the beginning, but we were like, hey, if you outgrow bikini, heck yeah, we'll go back up to wellness. But at times people pick a division like wellness and it's like, man, they have 4 years. They have a long time of natural tissue to put on, if even genetically their body can do that and grow like that, And so we want to be starting in a division that we still have growing to do to get to, but it's not feeling like something that's unattainable. I didn't
Yeah.
want it to feel like it was years and years and years and something that was unattainable in like a reasonable timeline. And also, you know, you have such a great, also at the same time, you had great shoulders and a great physique for bikini. And so we want to keep in mind like where, and not even to be training for bikini, as we can see how much your body has evolved when swapping over from like wellness training to bikini training, it made such a difference. But I appreciate the trust because it's hard. Like a lot of people do kind of come with a preconceived like division they feel like it's good for them. And I guess with that, do you feel like it was hard to trust me to make that switch, or was it something you were just kind of like, heck yeah, we got to do it?
Definitely a heck yeah.
Yeah.
I like again, like I'd been following you for a while. I knew you knew what you were talking about. And so it just kind of was like, well, the choice is am I doing it? Like, yes or no? I had to make it. Like nobody's gonna make it for me. And so I was just like,
Yeah.
See, why not? Like you said, you could always change. Like it's wellness will always be there. Like bodybuilding will always be there. Like even like when you're in prep and you're thinking about food, food will always be there. Like it's like let's
Absolutely.
just see, why not? Like we can start here, and you can always pivot. Like people are so scared to like choose something because they think they're stuck in it, and you're never stuck. I mean, you always have a choice to make a change or do something else. So it was just like a let's do it. Why not?
Yeah. And I think kind of what you were saying is a lot of people kind of get defined by it. They feel like, okay, they're stuck in it because they've told other people they want to do it or whatever. What would you
Yeah.
say to somebody who's like at that point where they're like, hey, maybe I need to pivot divisions? Like, what would you say to them? Or do you have any like tips in that aspect?
I mean, the classic, like, don't care, don't be bothered by what other people think. Like, it just comes down to like what you want and what you feel like is gonna be best for you. You can't always be putting other people first. I feel like throughout my whole life, I very much have been like a people pleaser and like putting other people first or trying to do things for other people. And I'm like, no, like, I want to do this and this is what's going to get me there. So I'm making the choice to pivot and like it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. It doesn't matter what I've already done. It matters like what I am willing to, push for right now. What I want.
Like, yeah, go. And I feel like you've really come to life in general, like in this prep, like being able to watch this journey and how much I mean, in the growing season, obviously you loved it and we're training hard and heavy, of course, but I think you've really kind of, from my point of view at least, it seems like you really like fallen in love with the sport, like this prep around. Like, do you feel like it's something where you feel like things are different in this prep than last prep, or how do you feel like things have been different? Because obviously I didn't prep you last time around. Do you think it's been something that you've enjoyed more this time around, equally?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could barely even call my first prep like a real prep. Just with like everything is so much more like structured. I have you I have so much more help. I feel like I'm getting more out of it. I like just that sense of control. Like I've built such a good routine and a routine that I like enjoy and want to continue with outside of it. Like not only was I building like a physique that I can build to like bring to stage, but I was building like healthy habits that I want to continue with, which is like so different from my first show. Like my first show was just a crash diet, 40 pounds, 4 months, like drop it as fast as I can. I was not very lean. Like my body was not super happy. Like I was doing hours and hours of cardio. Like it was just it's night and day, and like my body feels night and day, and the results are night and day. I mean, I like barely placed in a small like category in my first show, and here I am. It was a decent sized show, and I did so much better than I thought I ever would. So like
Yeah.
it definitely is. I mean, it's completely different and like mentally and emotionally different. And I mean, I'm older too, which helps a little bit, but it's just felt so good and like a lot more sustainable, and not like I'm gonna just lose everything and go crazy after too, which is important. You can't just go ham after a show.
Yeah.
Not the way I did after my first one for sure, but I feel like I have the tools and the resources to like into my refeed and my off season and to like and feel good about it and not like anxious or worried that I'm gonna put on all this body fat and kind of undo all the work that I did basically. So
I think that's so cool too. What you're kind of saying is like, last prep, I mean, we still lost a lot of weight this prep, you've lost a ton, but I think that we've set things up a bit differently this time. And a lot of people don't think about it too much. They think about the prep process as just the prep, but they don't think about how much of an impact that time before can make. And us setting up your hormones, setting up your health, setting up your metabolism to be successful in this prep. Like to think about, I mean, you've lost, a decent, almost equal amount of weight. I'd have to go and double check how
I
much you've
think
lost.
more
I'd
honestly.
say I think it's been more than
Yeah.
50 pounds. It's been a lot in this process as a whole.
Yeah.
However, we're doing maximum 35 minutes of cardio, and last time you were doing hours. Now, keep in mind, of course, genetically, your body's just loving it. I'm sure there's less stress. There's a lot of other plays in
Oh,
mind, but a lot of it's not even just like, oh, George is, some magician. It's the time before that we've took to set us up for this phase.
oh,
But and also just having kind of the confidence in our journey, having reduced stress, lower cortisol, like that can make an impact to our fat loss in the prep, you know?
Mhm.
So that's been so cool how well your body has responded. It could not have been responding any better. So that's been a big part of it. But I also think too, at least like my coaching style, a lot of people don't see this aspect until they prep with me, but my coaching style is definitely super like I would say like tedious in my stuff. Like sometimes people go into a peak week and they're like, oh my gosh, like because I lay out everything where it's like, okay, this is the time that you're traveling. This is the time you're stopping to do your stuff. This is the time you're checking in and doing your makeup and all the things.
I
Um,
loved it.
yeah, you have to be like, you can't be, I mean, I think it's helpful for both types of competitors. It's helpful for the type A people that normally like to keep such a control over things that it's like all handled that they can step back. But it's also really helpful for the type B kind of competitors, which I think you might be a little bit more type B, where it's like nothing is forgotten, right? Prep brain is real. It's easy to forget. I've had clients that they're like, oh man, I forgot to check in. Like, I don't want that to be something that happens. So it helps to keep us on track and things like super like just moving along how we need it and there's nothing going to be missed because it's all accounted for, you know. uh
Definitely.
but having like confidence in that process in the peak, so that was super fun. But kind of
It
going,
definitely takes the anxiety away too. Like
yeah,
there's so much anxiety around show day and not knowing, especially like my first like NPC show.
absolutely.
It's you don't want that extra anxiety. So
Yeah,
it's definitely helpful.
absolutely. Yeah, and mainly with me not being there at the show, that's the goal is like, we know exactly what's expected of us, even with me not there, you know? So be there or not there, the goal is that we feel like super supported and everything is like understood throughout the day. And of course, it's easy because you've competed before, so you're kind of understood, the process. But that's a good question as well. Like mainly because of how different this prep was, and we lost an equal amount of weight. Like, was there any point in this prep you were like, holy crap, like this one's different? Like, like this one is like, I'm bringing like a different look. Like, was there ever a
Oh yeah.
point, like a turning point there, or was it just like very small?
I definitely like I when I went to meal plan, I was like, okay, like this is not a joke anymore. Like I was doing macros and I was doing final macros and like I lost the weight and it was it did what it needed to do, but then I got to a point where I was like, if I really want to compete at the next level, then I need to prep at the next level. And that's I feel like that was when I really noticed like that was like a switch in my brain. I was like, okay, no, it's happening. We're doing it. We're giving it our all. There's no excuses. And like it switched something in my brain for like my I feel like my life. Like
Yeah.
I made that choice. I made the decision. Like I can eat on plan. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop me from eating on plan. Like no matter what. And so like having that confidence in like having the confidence to do that has bled into like like having confidence in everything else in my life and knowing that like I have the control. I can choose. Like I can decide if I want to do this or not. And I'm deciding to do this and I'm deciding to give it my all. So I definitely think like switching to meal plan and then measuring my salt out
Yeah.
and all I
That
was
got
like,
real
okay,
for
we're
sure.
doing this. Like so I feel like that like I definitely like when I first started prepping in general, I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot different. Just like my check-ins and my videos and my pictures and everything. But like that was like a major turning point. I feel like even in my life, like was when I went to macro or went to a meal plan and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is it.
And that's so interesting how you say that because it's like you expected more from yourself too. It's like, okay, we knew we were gonna have more check-ins, we knew we were gonna have to pose more. There's so much stuff that we knew we were gonna have to work on, but then there's things that are expected of advanced competitors that you were like, hey, okay, like I expect what is needed from me to be that next level and to be that high level, and to really be 100% with those tedious things, But definitely, I think the swap over to meal plan a lot of times, usually around like 16 weeks out or so, it's like, okay, time to lock it in, Nothing is being,
Yes.
changed around too much. And it helps us to be able to optimize everything to a T because it's like fiber and, our potassium and a sodium and keeping everything consistent. It helps us data wise to know like we're doing everything that we can to maximize our results. And we did, obviously, because we've made so much, progress in this prep. But with all that too, like what would you say is the biggest challenge that like you kind of, had and how we've navigated it? Do you think there was anything that was like super hard in this prep?
Honestly, no. I kind of just been like, all right, I'm doing what you tell me. We'll see what next week's look like. And then when we got to like several several check-ins a week, I was like, okay, like I'm a lot of like, okay, one step foot forward, like one more step foot forward, like just one more, we just keep gotta go one more day. I mean, like, in when I coach people too, it's a lot like, I just want 1% better every day. Like, you just don't go backwards, but you don't have to be 100% forwards. And so like I just kind of saw this, like I saw every day, like I would be a little bit better, I would push a little bit harder. And even on those really hard days, like I need to do one thing that was better than yesterday. And so like, because of having a long prep, I mean, I feel like I've been able to like hit 100% and 101, 102. Like I've really been able to like push past that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're very present in this prep, which a lot of people have trouble doing. I think that's what
Yeah.
overwhelms people a bit is like you're saying, they're thinking, okay, oh man, I wonder how hard next week's going to be, or I wonder how many check-ins I'm going to have next week and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like you did very good at being like, okay, right now is a little hard, but like you were present in your circumstance, which I really, really made a difference, you know?
Definitely. It's yeah, it's I mean, I've been working with that in life in general. Like I want to enjoy everything. I feel like I've been my whole life I've been so worried about what the next big thing is and what's going to happen, or like trying to prepare for some like crazy thing. And so, I mean, like when you're doing the same thing every day, you kind of have to slow down and be like, okay, what is different about today? What was exciting about today? What did I enjoy? Because like there's so many there's a lot less things to look at to see what was enjoyable. You're like, okay, I've had the same 5 meals, what else today was really good? I got to see my friend, I got to have a really deep conversation with them, or I had an amazing day at work and I got to help people and help women feel strong. And so you're able to like, I don't have to worry about like my food or what I'm eating, and then you can like kind of be present in like those other parts of your life, and you're like, okay, wait, no, I really enjoy like doing these little things, or I went on an amazing walk and I got to be in the sun and it felt so good. And I'm like, that's the enjoyable part of life. And so like definitely like it just kind of forces you to slow down and kind of look at everything, because there's a lot less to look at when when everything's like strict and pulled in. So
Yeah, that's a great way to explain it. I think that is so true. A lot of people learn a lot about themselves in a prep. I'm sure you agree with that, but it's just like when all the random parts, like a lot of the excess things that we're pulling out, right? We're not having to think about, there's not a lot of stress on our grocery shopping. We know exactly what we're getting. There's not a lot of, guesswork when it comes to how much cardio or what our training is and all of these things. And it allows us to have to, because it's such obviously a selfish kind of sport, we're having to really put pressure forward to be able to be present in other people, but also in our work and in our relationships and things like that. So I think
yeah.
that's so interesting to be able to kind of see. But yeah, I mean, if you're open to like talking about it, you're like obviously relationships a little, interesting, circumstantial. Like, I mean, if you want to share anything about it in the sense of like the
Yeah.
travel in distance and stuff, like, do you feel like it's something that has been hard with being in a prep, like being able to like show up in your relationships with it being like kind of distance in times?
I think, I mean, me and my husband have been together for over 6 years. I'm a huge chunk of our relationship, I was in college. So like we've been used to this long distance thing, and like obviously we make it work. But I think like it's as much as like I miss him and I really wish he was home and I wish I was around him all the time, I think it helped me like hold myself accountable and be like, okay, no, like I if there's something in this house that I'm not supposed to have, that's my fault. And if I eat that, that's my fault. Like,
Yeah.
so like in the sense of like it's kept me on it with like food, especially, like that's been really helpful. But then you look at like the emotional side of things, and you're like the draining side, and like again, like the relationship side, you don't get to be around them all the time, and you're so emotionally drained from the day. You're like, okay, sitting on a phone call trying to talk through my day, like it's one of those things where like you just want to sit in a room and enjoy each other's presence, and you can't really do that. And so like you do have to put effort, like in any like friendship and relationship, like in prep it gets harder because you have to like you're realizing you're pushing and you're having to like there's extra energy that you're putting towards all of that, which is like totally they deserve it, and you want to give it to them. And so there's some days where like, oh, I wish I could give more, but like like physically I'm just so exhausted. Like I
Yeah.
just need to go to bed. Like I
Yeah.
just need to put my feet up. I just need to not talk. Like there's definitely days like that. But then it kind of like it kind of makes you realize you're like, okay, what have I not been doing, and what do I want to like try harder in our like I it made me see like things, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to work on, this is what I want to do. Like it kind of it pulls like, because you're pulled back to so little, you see a lot of like yourself, and seeing like what bothers you, what makes you happy, what makes you sad. Like it's really easy to kind of like pinpoint those things. And so you're like, okay, what can I do to like make my relationship better? Like basically you're just able to see those smaller things. And so like it's definitely hard, but I mean, like I would love to have him home. Everyone always would love to have their
Of course.
significant there to help and support. But I think like overall it's been surprisingly not that bad. But
Yeah.
again, I think doing years and years of long distance before, and also doing my bodybuilding prep before, I was also like, we did long distance. But the like the dating side of things is definitely harder. Like I can tell when we're together, like he'll want to go out to eat, and like my initial reaction is like, "Ugh, why would you even say that? Like why would you even want to do that?" Like, or if he orders food, I'm like, why would you eat this in front of me? Like it almost feels like an attack. And you're like, no, it's, you have to like step back, get out of your emotions, and realize like none of like, you again, it comes back to, you chose to do this, this is your choice, you wanted to eat on meal plan. Like so you
Yeah.
can't like pull him down or pull others down because they're deciding to enjoy their life in a different way than you're deciding. And so like it kind of like like I have to check myself. Like I'm like, no, like it's fine. Um you can kind of carry that on to like anything else. Like anytime that I feel like I'm emotionally reacting fast, I'm able to like notice it and kind of like step back. Why am I reacting this like this? Why do I feel like this? Is it because I'm tired? Is it because I'm hungry? Is it actually something that's like bothering me and I want to talk about it? Like
Yeah.
so it's like again, everything's simplified, but it takes, you have to be aware, like you have to put effort towards it. You can't just like let it happen and do and be and then expect your relationship to be fine, or expect to like not have fights or do that. Like you actively have to work towards it and then acknowledge it. That I kind of rambled a little bit,
No,
but
you're good. Absolutely. No, I agree. And this thing too, it's kind of interesting because people go through these the ebbs and flows, even like with their friends and not even just talking relationships, right? Even when they're not in prep. But there's something about prep that really puts a focus that's like, hey, I only have this little energy. Like, how am I going to allow the energy that I do have to be for good towards the people that are around me that are supporting me so much, you know? And mainly him like trying to support you as much as he can. Maybe he doesn't understand it, but he really tries, you know? So it's something where, you know, like our partners that might not be in this sport, it's they try really, really hard to understand, but we can't expect, like you said, we can't expect them to be on meal plan. We can't expect them to always eat out
no.
ever.
I want him to enjoy his life, and it makes me happy seeing him, be happy. And so I need to like check myself and make sure that like that it's fine.
Yeah.
You're
It's
good. And there's always going to be more date nights, and there's always going to be more food, and it's going to be even more enjoyable now that like you haven't gotten to have it. Like I cannot wait for my honeymoon. I'm so excited.
so
And it like the way it lines up, it's perfect. And like
Mm.
I literally already have like food plan. Like I already have like my grocery list made of like all the stuff that I'm gonna cook for like, and it's like fun meals. And then we also like are already picking restaurants out to go to have date nights in like Vegas.
yeah.
And so like it makes you appreciate all those things more. And like it's brought so much excitement honestly to my like my relationship. And like it's something new and exciting. You mean you've been to when you're together for so long, you get into it, you get comfortable, you do the same pattern, you do the same things over and over. And so like not being able to do those things that we're used to, or like pulling back or looking at things differently. Like it's made me so excited, and I just like find myself telling him like I love you, and I'm so excited for like what's next. Like, even like not even food wise or bodybuilding wise, it just makes you like you're excited to have all this energy to be happy in a relationship. So like I just find myself like all the time, oh, I'm excited, even with my friends. I'm like, I'm excited to do this with you, I'm excited to go out and like go to the lake and have a lake day, and then and like not have to worry about like my meal prep if it's gonna melt, or like we can just bring sandwiches and we can all eat the same things, and all that sort of stuff. So I feel like I'm just it's brought tons of excitement to my life, like not only just doing the show and having all this routine, but excited to see what my life is like outside of it too.
And that's the thing too, is like a lot of people see bodybuilding as something that's only restriction, but I think when you provide structure and there's times in which you can't do something, it makes it more enjoyable and you can be more present. Like think about if you're always taking vacations every single week, would you be able to enjoy your vacation as much? Not really. Like you would be like, oh man, I see these beautiful sights like every single week, whatever, whatever. And it's kind of the same thing with bodybuilding. It's like when you have to kind of pull back and not be able to eat at all these different restaurants and travel as much because being in routine is pretty, important. It's a short-term sacrifice for sure for something that is super important to you and the people around you understand, but it's exciting to be able to be out of it at two and understand you're going to have more energy to like invest in them as well. So that's why it's important to be like, hey, okay, communicating with them maybe at times like, hey, at this in this short period of time, I don't have the energy to provide, but being super, super present when we do have that energy and we're post-show and we're growing and, past that circumstance. It helps you to be able to like understand the ebbs and flows, I feel like a bit more.
Definitely, yeah.
It's so interesting. And that's what I always tell people. I'm like, it's almost like weirdly because we don't have some of these things. I mean, of course, it's a choice. Like, it's not like we can't, but it's like because we remove some of these things, it makes it when we are able to actually eat out or do these things, it just makes it so much more enjoyable. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
feeling.
sure. And it's like this event, and like
Mhm.
you just want to you're so much more present for sure.
Yeah, it's so interesting, so interesting. And that's something that's so exciting about the sport. I feel like it's about being able to have that balance, of course, in the sense of past the prep, right? The prep, it's an extreme. We know we're getting into an extreme sport, so it's understanding what is expected of us in this time and what we're going to be able to provide, in other times too. But yeah, I feel like that's all so helpful for a lot of people. I think that's really insightful. But getting back to kind of like what we were talking about as well, is there a kind of like in this peak week, do you think that there's anything you want to share that you're like, obviously the last time you peaked was just different, but do you think that this peak was something that compared to past was super different? Is there anything that was like different in this phase that you feel like from other ones or anything like that? Or do you just think like it was just like such a new experience this time around and it felt like just so new?
I mean, really, it was just so new.
Yeah.
I didn't even have that like texting correspondence. Like, I just didn't really have any support backstage. My first show, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to pump up. I didn't know what I was like, what should I be eating? How much should I be eating? I kind of had an idea, but I didn't really like, it was not very specific. Like, so I just felt like honestly, I just wanted to leave my first show. I got there and I did not want to be there, and I felt uncomfortable, and I mean, nobody was really nice, and I was like, okay, this is a horrible mistake. I should have never done this. Like, I just want to leave. And then, like, this show experienced, I'm showing up and I'm looking around. And I'm like, no, I look like these women. I look like I should be here. If anything, I look more prepared. Like, I have everything I need. Like, I had people come to me for rice cakes and honey and salt. Like, I
Yeah.
felt good. Like, I felt solid. Even like taking my check in photos backstage, like, I felt like I belonged. And like I did not feel that before. So it felt like, I mean, it felt great. It was awesome. And like even like the pump up, like you gave me the exercises. I knew exactly how much honey, how much salt I should be having. Like
Yeah.
it was exactly what I needed. It was everything I wanted, and like so I mean, like, again, I felt supported. Like I had somebody to talk to. We were on FaceTime backstage. Like And then I even made some friends backstage too. Like
Mm.
I I was like talking I was like walked up to these two ladies when I first showed up. I was like, is this where we're supposed to be? Like we were like the first few bikini women to show up and I was already like 15 minutes late and I was like, where is everyone? Like, am I really late? Like what happened?
Mhm.
And they're like, we've been here since 10:30. We don't know where anyone is. But so like making like actually making friends and even talking to like more people backstage. I ended up running into people that had known my friend that had passed recently. And she was supposed to be at that state be there like supporting me and I didn't even know she had other people there that she knew and so it was kind of like a bittersweet moment too. Like I got to talk with them right before we went on stage, and we were like, "We're Maxine, like let's do it!" Like it was such a like everyone was so supportive and lifting everyone up, and even though like we're each other's competition, we were like, "Here's a band. Here, your glutes look great. You need to do this. Like here's this rice cake. Here, like it was so this the whole experience was just amazing backstage and just completely different. I mean, night and day. And I'm just so grateful that it all went the way it did.
Yeah, yeah. And that's so crazy that are you open like talking about that at all? Or is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
something about
I
like,
don't know.
yeah, yeah, I know it that is just something of course you never expect, obviously having like a friend pass, in the middle of your prep. And I feel like I wanted to say first, of course, like giving your flowers because number one, I mean, at the end of the day, even if you were like, this prep is done, I would have completely understood it. You know what I mean? Like, and how you still like were able to be present with her family and her friends and all of that and still be able to be present for yourself. That's just something I couldn't even imagine. Like I don't even know if I could have done that. Was it something like, is there anything you want to share to other people? Because that's just such a unique circumstance and obviously not something that we want to ever happen. But I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that.
Yeah, I mean it was interesting. It made me it definitely like because she was the person who showed me how to like actually squat correctly and like do my movements correctly. My husband got me into the gym. Like he was the one who like really pushed and like got me going consistently, but she helped me like learn how to gym and like she was the first person who I knew who, like ate a bunch of rice cakes and stuff. Like she was a big like help in like certain parts of my fitness journey. And so like I was so excited leading up to my show. I was seeing her a lot more. I was hanging out with her. Like we were taking pictures and recording videos together and her boyfriend lives in Memphis and so I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna get to see you there, like this is gonna be so much fun. And then it was just very like out of nowhere you get the call and you're like, now what? Like I don't even know, like you're like I don't know how to feel about it. But I decided to like use those emotions to like push forward and try to like do the best that I could for me obviously, but like to kind of show her too. It's like, look, I can do this. Like look what you were able to inspire me to do. So it was hard, but
Absolutely.
definitely worth it. And like I mean I was 22 days out for my show at her funeral, like and
Yeah.
it was I mean and then you go and then there's all this wonderful food and and you're like I just want to eat, I'm sad and I want to eat. And her father is like a really well-known chef in Nashville and so like the food was amazing there.
Oh my
So
God.
I was like, not only am I sad that I don't get to eat any of this, I don't get to go home and sit in bed and eat my ice cream. You're like I have to turn this sadness and I can't like wallow in it. I have to use that as energy and motivation to push forward. And like I think it like whenever I was like, oh, I don't want to do this or I'm ready to just give up or something like that. You can be like, no, like I told Maxine I was going to be there. I told her I was going to do this. Like, and so it kind of, I mean, it helped me push a little bit more at the very end. And then like getting to again run into those friends of hers, I was like, oh, this is so great. Like she touched so many people, she inspired so many people, and we're all able to like, kind of like carry her on through all of it. So.
No, thank you for sharing that. I think that's something that's so, it's obviously inspiring how you were able to like handle all of it. But the thing is also it's, you as much so deserve to grieve. And obviously it's so, so hard, like being in something they have to be so rigid. So either like that, and that's what I kind of said. I was just like, let me know what you think is best for you. And for some people, it's like, hey, okay, I need to redirect. We can do it another time. But I think for you, being able to like use her memory in the sense of like how you hand I just it's you did amazing. Like and it's so inspiring to other people, but to her as well. Like I know that that's something that's so so inspiring just now. So I'm so proud of you. That was just such a tough experience. It's something that I obviously have never had to deal with. I don't have any of my clients as has dealt with that. So it's something that it was, unique experience we had to kind of like navigate together. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but
At the end of the day, I'm glad I was able to push through and do so much better than I thought I would. So
yeah, you did amazing. Amazing. So no, it's like not cry, not cry.
yes.
Um, but yeah, this prep as a whole has been amazing. Obviously, it's not done yet. We're gonna do a national show, which is so freaking exciting. I feel like overall, like obviously we go into this show because this was so different. It's not like we had competed in the NPC in the past. It's not like we've competed in this division in the past. So it felt like you said, like a first time. So this is at the same time too your first national show, so so many firsts, in the sense of the season. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. And obviously I'll be there. We have so many plans. So it's just gonna be such a fun
I'm so
rest of
excited.
the season. I'm excited, and a lot of people will be coming to watch. So it's gonna be everyone's excited just now. So it's gonna be awesome. But just to kind of like end it off to not keep it too long, like what is one thing in this prep that you feel like outside of obviously like a win and like your physique, like what is something that you feel like you've learned that other people could learn from this as well?
I think I've truly learned what balance could look like, honestly.
Mhm.
Like I thought I was able to live a balanced life like before. And then like getting into prep, you're like obviously like things are not very balanced. But like getting closer to the end, I can see like how again I was saying earlier, like how I want to live my life, what I want to do, how I want to keep my routine and everything. But like truly what healthy balance could look like is what I feel like I've like learned through all of it. Like even like just eating in whole foods and getting my steps in and walking and drinking my water, like it feels good. It's not only like do I know I look like I can get my physique to look good, but it feels good physically and mentally. Like
Mm.
my hormones are so much happier. Like
Yeah.
I have endometriosis and like I've my symptoms have gotten so much better through. I mean, I know like losing body fat's gonna help that a little bit, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
but overall, like it's just made me feel so much better and I want to continue to feel like obviously I'm gonna have more energy, but I want to continue to feel like this and feel good.
Yeah.
So I feel like the biggest thing I learned is like what like how I'm going to continue being a bodybuilder, yes, like but how am I going to bring this normal person back, normal. Like
Absolutely.
what does normal life look like? And so I feel like I've either been here or I've been here and I'm really excited and I feel like I have the knowledge, I have the tools and the resources to be able to find that middle ground and feel comfortable and not feel guilty or worried or anxious that I'm making like the wrong choice about like food or movement. And so I feel like that's been like the biggest thing is like really realizing like how I want to live my life after all of it. So,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. I
yeah.
think a lot of people kind of get in the extremes, like they're either in prep or they're not in prep, right? And it's
Yeah.
finding a spot where it's like, hey, okay, it's not just about like you kind of said, the food is always there. Having one untracked meal per week, not just being completely off the full week, being able to find a spot where it's like, we're trying to make you a healthy human being too. Obviously, we want you to be a competitor and keep this up, but it's like, how can we make you a healthy human being? Get our hormones, making sure it's in a good place in the off season, keeping things healthy, our water and our vitamins, like things like this. It's not just because you're a bodybuilder, we should be taking our B complex and our stuff like that, even in the off season. So it allows us to be able to find a place where it's like living this bodybuilding lifestyle in the off season, but that doesn't mean rigid, like being super rigid.
Definitely.
That's the problem. Is a lot of people get into the sense of extremes and having an off season. Like I feel like people truly understand what bodybuilding is about when we get into that off season and we're like, oh, okay, like we can have flexibility, we can have this, but I'm still using that food to train freaking hard and put on muscle tissue, right? And I'm not, going to these crazy extremes, just not tracking at all and or, not training at all. Like finding that balance where it's like allowing us to enjoy this amazing sport that we love and we want to be competitive in, while also enjoying life and being present.
Yeah.
And a lot of people see bodybuilding so different from other sports, which is so interesting. But like thinking of it, like I always tell people, like compare it to these high level, like you're trying to trace like to be a pro level athlete. And so it's like comparing this to people who are like trying to go to these, pro other sports, like trying to get to the Olympics and things like that. There's seasons that we have to be super rigid, but our lifestyle is just different than another person. Like it is. And so it's something where finding that spot where it's like we're still training hard. We're still eating whole foods. We're still, getting our steps in and drinking our water, but we're still having more flexibility of being able to like, enjoy your honeymoon and enjoy these things that are also normal people enjoy as well. There's like
Normal
there's an in
people.
between, there's like an in between. But normal, you got to keep in mind, like normal people do not do this extreme sport. Normal people aren't bodybuilders. Um, and I think
Normal
that
people don't even go to the gym multiple times a week. Like it's such a weird percentage. Like you get, especially like online, like looking at when you consume so much fitness and bodybuilding content, you're like, this is so normal. This is so normal. And then I go and I tell, talk about it to the women at work or like my friends, and they're like, what is going on? Are you okay? Like, please tell me you're gonna eat soon. Like this is like people like genuinely get worried. And I'm like, no, I mean, please remember, like, it is extreme. It's like an extreme sport. Or I'll have people be like, what are you doing? I want to do that exact thing. I'm like, no, no, it's extreme. Please, you don't want this. Like, but yeah, definitely like normal people. That cracks me up.
so funny. Well, thank you. Your journey is just so intricate. Like there's so many things. And that's why I think I don't know. We'll see if people like them. I'm definitely gonna share this video, but I feel like being able to see, because I'm sure people follow you on social media and see how good you look, and I bet they don't know 99% of this, like understanding endometriosis in long distance with your partner and like so many things and like having deaths in the middle of prep. Like there's just so much. And so people being able to see like you as a whole, and it's really inspiring for people to see like how hard you work and how much you put in, even despite. And I think that that's something that's so, so inspiring. So thank you for sharing. Obviously, I know these
Of
things, but
course.
other people, like, I think it's your place to share, and how much you're like willing to share. But it's so, so like you don't understand how inspiring it is to other people. So I appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I just want to make I always want people to feel happy and supported and know that they're never alone, and you know so it's always I'm always happy when I can make people feel that way.
Yeah. All right. Let me stop the recording and we'll talk here in a second. Thanks for watching, guys.